Sure will. Well, thank you very much, and good morning to everybody.
Morning.
I'm Dan Sloan. I'm the owner of Pillar to Post, the franchise owner in the Mobile, Baldwin County area. I've actually owned the franchise for about 5 years. Personally, I've been in business as an inspector ever since 1993. In 1993, I owned a company called Architectural Inspectors in Atlanta, Georgia. Did it for a couple of years, kind of got out of it because I couldn't get paid back in those days. Nobody really wanted to pay for an inspection like they do today, like it has to be done. Then I was in the remodel business for about 25 years. I actually even built my first home by myself, me and my dad, at 19 years old. So it's all I've ever done in my life is been to the side of homes and understand homes and how they work and so forth. So I bought a house. I'm live over in Fairhope, and I was buying a house in Fairhope in the remodel business, and needed it inspected. And I called Pillar to Post to come inspect my home. And I became very, very close friends with that gentleman. I don't know if y'all remember his name. He was Chris Abair, and Chris handled this area for about 5 years before I took over. Well, Chris had a family situation that had him have to move to Connecticut. And when he moved to Connecticut, him and I come together and I bought the franchise out. So I kind of come back around from where I used to be in the 90s back to owning Pillar to Post. But I didn't just jump in and say, okay, Chris, how much you want for it? Let me pay you, let me do whatever. I actually really started doing my homework. Do I really want a franchise? Is a franchise really what I need? Can I not just open architectural inspectors back down here and do it again? Well, when you start really digging into it, it's the best thing I ever did. Now, I noticed that I think our other people brought some Chick-fil-A. You know Chick-fil-A is one of the best franchises in the marketplace. When you come into home inspections, Pillar to Post is one of the best franchises. We've actually been ranked #1 for 9 years in a row through Entrepreneur Magazine. And one of the reasons that we are is we're on the leading edge of technology in our industry. And as you'll see what I present today, we don't just walk through your house and look at, okay, you got a bad GFCI or whatever else. We use cameras. We go a lot further than any other inspection company does. So, So a few things I just want to go over a little bit. We're definitely a service you can trust. We carry E&O insurance, and I'm sure all of you carry E&O insurance. But our E&O insurance actually protects you also. We kind of give you an example. Years ago, we had a situation out in Texas where a deck was built on the back of a house. We had inspectors go out there and inspect it. Come to find out, they missed a few things. The deck collapsed, a couple people died. So, as you know, those people are not just going to come after the inspector who inspected that. They come after everybody. They come because there's not enough money. We don't have enough money in our insurance policy to cover it. So they're going to come after the realtor. They're going to come after the broker. They're going to come after the selling agent, the buying agent, you name it. Well, our insurance protects you to keep that from happening. So our insurance not only protects us, but it protects you, the agent. Another thing that we do is, an industry leading, is we print the report out on every job site. So if your buyer is at the job site, we literally give them this binder with their printed report that minute. So it's not something that we're not going to go home and say, oh, well, give me 4 or 5 hours, I'll email it to you or whatever else. No, you're going to get it right that second. If you don't want the binder, which is fine, some people don't, then we will email it to you that second. So they're going to get it right off the bat. The beauty about what we like about this binder, other than it's just open and I got to close it, is if you go into the very back of it, it's got a place where they can put the purchase price of the home or what they paid for it. Then they can put in their construction improvements that they're doing on the home. Then they actually can go in and do their property taxes, and then it even goes down to electric, gas, and water. And you say, why is this so important? Why do you feel it's important? Well, the reason we feel it's important is because they're going to use our binder, our report, all of this information. In the front of it, it's going to have my business card, and it's going to have your business card as an agent. And then, when they get ready to go sell this house, what's the best tool in the world they can sell it? They've got a total report from a reputable home inspection company and the agent who sold them the house, and now they're selling the house. So who are they going to call the next time when they want another inspection? Pillar to post. Who are they going to call the next time? The agents whose card's in here and your information that's in here. So we want them to keep this. So we want to put it on their shelf, and they keep it year after year after year. And it's just something very, very nice for people to have. Some of the other things that we do that most people don't do, we inspect, we schedule our inspections 24 hours a day. 24 hours in the lead time. So if you want an inspection tomorrow, we can do the inspection tomorrow. We guarantee it. If we won't do your inspection tomorrow and you want it tomorrow, we'll give it to you for free.
Say that again.
So if you need an inspection tomorrow, we guarantee you 100% that you'll have that inspection tomorrow. If not, it's 100% free. 100% free. That's even 7 days a week. So if you call me on Saturday and say, Dan, these people only need you on Sunday. Can you be there on Sunday? Yes, we'll be there on Sunday. We work 7 days a week. We answer our phones from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. You're a realtor, you're out chasing customers and doing whatever you have to on a Sunday. Why shouldn't we be there to help you on that Sunday? And we are. So we actually even have a phone system that if it rings to Stacy, who answers our phone, and she's on the phone or busy, it'll rotate to myself. If I'm busy, it'll rotate to Matt. If Matt's busy, it rotates to Bobby. Bobby's busy, it rotates to Alan. You should never get a voicemail. You should get someone to talk to you right that minute, to give you that price, to give you that scheduling, whatever you need. Who in here loves to talk to a voicemail? Man, I sure don't. Drives me crazy personally. So we'll do it 7 days a week and inspect 7 days a week. We also have a system too where we give discounts. First time home buyers, a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, a lot of first time home buyers, because the interest rates were so low. Military veterans, first responders, medical personnel, give all discounts. Now, if they call up and say, hey, we want to get a price and so forth, and they don't tell us who they are, they can't get a discount. So make sure you tell your customer, hey, tell them I sent you, and you can get a discount. And we'll definitely give them that discount. So I'm going to go through a little bit of situation about our company. We have 3 basic programs. And our programs, you ask why we have so many programs. We have what we call our Plus package. We have our Premium package. And we have our Prestige package. And what's the difference between the packages? Well, the package is pretty simple. The Plus package is really what 99% of the other home inspectors in the nation are doing. We're going to do it just like they do it. We feel we're going to do it better. And the reason we're going to do it better is 2 major reasons. One, we do 360-degree photos of the entire house, inside and out, in every package for free. So you say, well, what do I need that for? Well, I'll tell you, I just had a situation with a realtor in Gulf Shores that we did the photos on her house, and she came up to me about a month and a half later, and she said, Dan, you saved my butt. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, the house I sold, we went to do a walkthrough at the very final end, and then my seller, or my buyer, swears that they changed the light fixtures in it. And I couldn't prove it. But my pictures showed, yes, they did. They changed all the light fixtures in the home and took them with them before it closed. So you're going to get to know everything about that house while it's being set and while it's in process, while people are at the trying to close their home. You're going to know what was going on the day that your customer's seen it. The second thing that we do that no one does, also in that package, is what we call PTP estimates. And PTP estimates, you'll see in your brochure, you'll see this little card. So this little sheet here The very first sheet that you got is basically what you're gonna see, the front page of your report. The second page is what we're gonna call our summary. That's the items that we found that was bad in the home. So what we do then, we go a step further from the summary. The next day, you're gonna get that same list priced out. So anything that's wrong with that home, a GFCI, an expansion tank, some rotten wood, we're gonna tell you what it's gonna cost to fix. What better way to go now and talk to your customer direct and say, well, we know how much it's gonna cost you, so now we have some bargaining way to do that. Unbelievable program, unbelievable. So I kind of will tell you one thing. Let's just say, for instance, I did a house here in Mobile not too long ago that I went into a pull-in basement garage and with a living quarter upstairs, and the ceiling was not sheetrocked or anything, which is a fire hazard. It's got to be a fire-rated sheetrock up there. So I wrote it down, I put it in the report. The gentleman gives the report back the next day. He got the PTP estimates back the next day, and he says, my God, they're only charging $400 to put all that sheetrock up. And I said, no, we need to look at that a little closer because it's not $400, it's per square foot. So you have to figure out the square footage of the whole inside that basement compared to that. So it's the same way with rotten wood. If you got rotten wood in the house and you got one board, they're gonna give you a price of one board, they're not gonna give you a price of 50 boards because they're not there, they don't see 50 boards rotten, they see one board rotten. So if you ever have questions about it as you get it, all you have to do is call me or Matt or Bobby, and we'll go over that information with you. But it's pretty easy and straightforward. But unbelievable, there's no one in the industry prices out. Now you may say, hey, I don't want you to price my stuff out. It's gonna scare somebody, I don't want you to do it. If you're a seller or whatever, okay, we won't. You just tell us. So when you get the report, when we email you over the report, it's gonna have a place. Do you want the PTP estimates, yes or no? You click yes or no, and that's it. So it's pretty plain and simple not to get it if you want it, not to get it. The second thing, when we go into our next package, which is our premium package, our premium package is by far our most popular. No ands, ifs, and buts about it. But the next thing you get in our premium package is you're gonna get a floor plan. And that floor plan is gonna measure every inch of that house. And it's gonna be laid out. Now, we do a lot of VOHs, which we call virtual open houses. And I think y'all are probably familiar with Matterhorn. This is very similar to that, but it's not. It's a company called DocuSketch, which is an affiliate of Pillar Post. So we basically set the camera up in the middle of the room. It measures each room by the ceiling, not by the floor, because if there's furniture there, how does it measure on the floor? So by the ceiling. So every ounce of that home is measured in a layout and a floor plan. The beauty to this, a couple of things, back in the pandemic again, how many houses did y'all sell when the customer never even showed up? Never even seen it. So now they're gonna get the 360-degree photos with the floor plan, which is really, really nice. We'll take just a second, I'm gonna allow him to show you, this is the way the floor plan looks and the PTP60. So as you can see, you can walk through this entire house. You want to go to the guest bedroom, you can walk around that entire house and see everything in it. So I have some people that will get this floor plan because they know they want to change out the floor in this entire house. They don't know how many square feet they need. So they just send this to their floor guy. He figures it out for them. Or paint. Again, remember, the 360-degree photos that you're seeing here is even on the lowest package we sell. This is 100% free. You get this on every inspection. Bobby, you want to pass it? So you also may say, I mean, a lot of times, I think some brokers do not want the measurements to be on your floor plan, you can get the floor plan with measurements or without. Matter of fact, you get them both, and you can pick out what you want. If you want to put it on the MLS, it does say, don't start that yet, but it does have our logo on it, but all we do is take our logo off and then it can go on MLS. We have a lot of people do that. We also do this as a VOH only, a visual open house inspection only. So we go in and just do that for listings, if you want that as a listing part. I did 2 of them for Elite last week. What I do is I go in there and I'll do the whole total thing. I will leave a binder. I'll leave all of it laid out so the people who are coming in and looking at your house knows exactly what's wrong with that house at the very beginning. What a great thing to do. I mean, it's really, really works well. So what Bobby is passing out now is a basic home comparison chart. So I know you're saying, well, goodness gracious, y'all got all this stuff and you do so much more than everybody else. You've got to be the most expensive. Well, as you'll see, we're not. And it will also show you in this comparison what we do and they do not do. So as you can see, 360-degree photos, no one does. Now I will tell you, competitor number 1, number 2, and number 3 are some of the best, biggest in this entire area. So this is just not Joe Blow home inspection. These are top people. And a lot of these figures that you'll see at the bottom, you can go on the internet and verify every single one of them. We do the inspection summary repair estimates. We do the 24-hour guarantee inspection or it's free. We do the measured floor plan. We do a lifetime recall check, which means on our premium and our prestige package, we go into the home and we take photos of all of your data tags on all of your appliances. All of this is sent into a company who does a recall check on your appliances to see if there's any recalls. But not only do they do the recall check right then when you're buying the home, but for the rest of the time you own the home. So the whole time, if anything goes bad, it automatically triggers them. They send you a message that said, your stove has been recalled by so-and-so, and then you have to follow up from there. We do the summary report printed and on site, which no one else does. So then you'll see, so this is a basic home inspection. This is our plus package. So in a 1954 home, 1,500 square foot, crawl space, which all 1954s pretty much have a crawl space, and a pool. So as you can tell, our price to do this, $580. Our big time competitor here in Mobile, $675, almost $100 more. And then $649, and then $580. $550. Someone was $30 cheaper than us, but didn't do any of the things that we do. So basically all we're trying to say and what we want to bring to your attention is we want to be your partner. I don't know if you realize it or not, but Berkshire Hathaway and Pillar to Post are partners already in our corporate world. We work very close with you all over the world. So we would love to be your partner here and to show you what we can do. And we're also going to pass around this box. And what we're going to do is, put your business card in it, and we're going to give away 2 VOHs. So it's going to come completely with your floor plan. If you got a listing that you want to do, if it's your own house you want to do, you're going to get the photos, you're going to get a floor plan, and it's just going to be free for you to show you what we really can do. It's pretty amazing when you start seeing it. Yeah. If you don't have a card, just write it on a piece of paper and put it in there.
Your estimator program that you use, is it area specific, so regionalized, so that it's not using California prices, or it's not using some other prices that might be much lower? It's
Yes, ma'am. It is. It's based on our area. So Punch List, if you read that card, Punch List is a nationwide company, all of the United States, and they're an affiliate of ours. And so eventually, punch list actually will be here in this area and actually doing the repairs that we quoted on. Right now, we just quote them. They're into every area trying to find the right people to team up with to do those repairs. But it is based in our area, all the places. Yes, ma'am. It's a very large company if you look it up, punch list. Very, very large company. Have I got any questions on anything I've talked about so far?
Yeah, I might have missed, sorry. Go ahead. I might have missed it, but you give, a price as far as what it costs. And somebody might have asked, well, did you guys do the repairs?
No, ma'am. No, we don't do the repairs. We don't actually estimate it ourselves. It's an affiliate of ours, which is a company called Punch List. We call it PTPEstimates. You get that list the following day after the inspection. So when your customer gets, your buying customer, he'll get an email, and the email's gonna have like 4 boxes, and the boxes are gonna basically say, here's your report, here's your photos, and here's PTPEstimates. So you'll click on PTPEstimates, they put their email in there, and the following day, they'll get that report on the estimates on what it costs to repair those repairs.
Okay, the cost to repair, does that have to go to them? Or can it just go to me, and I make a decision, I want to check some prices, and then, if that's what we do?
If that's exactly the way you want it, yes, ma'am. So you just need to allow us to know that in advance, when we're doing the inspection for you, because the email will go to them unless we check a box where we order and then it does not go to them. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And some people say, well, we got our own people, we want to do this, that, and another, which is fully understandable.
Yeah.
But please note, I'm sorry.
The reason why you get so many questions about that is because typically the seller is thinking one thing and the buyer is thinking another.
Yes.
They're opposite. The seller wants to do it for the least amount of money,
Sure.
and the buyer doesn't get it if it's on the inspection and it's part of the purchase agreement. So that's why you have so many questions.
Oh, no, we want questions. We want you to understand. We do this, believe me, we have 653 franchises across the United States. We've been doing this for 2 years now. So there's definitely bugs that we worked out and everything, and we've had to fix some of the problems, but now it really is running well. Very seldom, matter of fact, maybe one time in the last year that I've had a problem on one estimate. So it is extremely close to what you're gonna get. And like I say, if you don't want them to get it to begin with, you wanna start checking it, not a problem at all.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
could you give us like not gonna hold you to it, but kind of a generic, like a 2,000 square foot house on a slab?
Mhm.
And what would the price for each one of those, in different,
Yeah, so
One
and this is off the top of my head, I'm thinking a 2,000 square foot's gonna run around, a basic around 420, for our plan.
Okay.
And then, going up from there, it's probably gonna go to the premium at around 550, something.
so the premium's gonna add a little over $100?
Yeah, something like that, yes.
Okay.
It is by far, though, one thing the premium does too that I haven't even talked about is we use a IR scan. Are y'all familiar with an IR scan? An infrared scan. So we take an infrared gun and we scan all your electrical panels, we scan your walls, we scan around the toilets, underneath the toilets from the second floor, underneath the showers, to see if there's moisture in there that we can't see by the naked eye.
And what about septic, sewer line inspections? Do you do those?
Yes, ma'am. Matter of fact, you should have a brochure in that magazine that says, yes, we do sewer scopes. That is an added service that we do. We do pool inspections, we do sewer scopes. There's quite a few different add-on services that we also do.
You do mold.
Oh, absolutely, mold. So let me tell you, that's the next program let me get into. I told you to begin with, we have 3. We have our plus package, our premium package, and our last one is our prestige package. So our prestige package is a wellness home package, basically what we call. So everybody that's really worried about maybe there's some mold, especially old homes that you go into. So what we do different in that package is we go into the different rooms and we set up air pods. And we suck out the air in that room into a pod, and then we seal those pods, and then we FedEx them overnight to our lab in New Jersey. And they tell us if there's spores inside that home. So a lot of people think, okay, they want you to do a mold test. And they'll say, hey Dan, can you do the mold test? I said, sure, yeah, I'd be glad to do a mold test. But do you realize that you really can't do a mold test just by a simple swab unless you actually physically can see it? Well, an air quality test takes it one step further. So an air quality test is you don't have to see it. It can be in your ductwork where it's blowing the spores into the house. It could be underneath the sink base where the spores are coming into the home.
You also take the reading from the outside, because what I've seen with a lot of mold tests is that there's more mold on the outside, say, standing on the sidewalk, than there would be in the, you know.
Yes, sir. You're exactly correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's mold everywhere.
That's right, and absolutely, we do that. We take one outside, usually outside on the patio or something, and then we take however many we need to take inside the house based on what size it is. So that's our Prestige package. Now you can do that mold test or the air quality or simple mold test with the Plus package, if that's what you want to do. The air quality test can get expensive. It's about $375. Unfortunately, most of that's lab fees that we have to pay. But you definitely, if they really want a peace of mind, that's really where they get the peace of mind, is that.
As far as the heating and cooling, you actually check that, you don't reference it, say, have licensed AC company.
So, yes, ma'am, we do it, so let me give that in two different ways. We're not a licensed HVAC company, but we know how to check differentials, if it's blowing cold air, if it's blowing hot air. We put our readings down, we show you the readings in the report. We actually use our IR gun, we scan the readings so you actually see the readings. If we see a coil in that unit that's extremely rusty, we're gonna show you the picture of it, bring it to your attention. If it's getting old, we're gonna bring it to your attention. But never, ever will you see us say, hey, you need to go get a new HVAC system. We're not HVAC people. We're not gonna tell you, you gotta go get a new system. I'm not gonna tell you, you gotta go get a new hot water heater if it's $19.99. It's not my job to tell you that you need one. It's my job to tell you if that one is working or not. That's my job. I'm an inspector. I'm not an HVAC person. So if the reading is bad, or if it's the age is 15 years old or plus, then we're gonna put a statement that says you need to have a licensed HVAC technician evaluate the unit. Because we're not gonna try to be something that we're not. Same way with the roof. We're not gonna tell you, hey, you've gotta have a new roof. We're gonna say, hey, this roof looks like it's at the end of its life, but you need to get a roofing contractor to tell you. Because I'm not a roofing contractor. And any inspector that tells you how to do something or that you gotta replace something makes no sense, because that's not what he's paid to do. He just doesn't, should not do that. Any other questions?
Do
Yes,
you inspect stucco, like the EFOS and then the regular stucco, and what about home generators?
Yes, ma'am, yes. I am an EFOS contractor. I can do EFOS myself. I've been licensed in EFOS. It's pretty easy. We don't see as much EFOS as we used to. It's really gone away nowadays. But yeah, absolutely we do EFOS. And we will check the generator. Mainly the way you check the generator is pretty simple. It's got a manual button. You open it up, you turn it on, see if it all comes on, see if it works correctly. That's almost as far as you can go. We don't tear into anything. We also do pool inspections. It's the same way. Everybody says, well, what do you do on a pool inspection? Well, believe it or not, Alabama almost has no pool regulations, almost zero. The one state in the United States that has more pool license and inspections is the state of Florida. So I went to the state of Florida, got my license. That's where I'm certified as, out of the state of Florida. And for the reason of it, I wanted to know anything and everything there is to know about the pool. So every time I reference something in my inspection report about pools, it's about what the rules and regulations should be. Let's kind of I'm gonna give you an example here. So I don't know if you know it or not, but every entrance to a pool, whether it's a window, a doorway, a gate, and I mean a window out of the house, are supposed to have locks or alarms at 54 inches off the floor. Say for instance, you're sleeping at night, you got a 7-year-old son, decides to climb out the window and jump in the pool with his friends. Well, if it has an alarm on it, you're gonna know it.
That's Florida regulations though, I mean, so you're,
So those Florida regulations are used all over the United States. So Florida wrote the rules, we abide by
how
them.
you gonna describe that? So,
It's pretty simple, just like I said.
all right, tell me what you're gonna say, because that bothers me a little bit.
Okay, it's pretty simple. If it bothers you because of, it's all a safety situation. So basically, what it is all entrances to a pool, whether it's from a doorway, a window, or a gate, must have locks or alarms at 54 inches off the ground.
Shouldn't you say, use the word should have, if it doesn't apply in Alabama, instead of must? You just
No, I say should have, I don't say must.
Okay.
And it does apply in Alabama, so I want you to understand, the rules were written in Florida, but they apply in Alabama.
They apply everywhere?
All over the United States, yes, sir. They apply all over the United States.
I've
Now,
never-
let me tell you an
I've
easy
never
way to
heard
fix
that
this.
rule, I mean, I've never heard that rule that says they must have a lock on it or an alarm. I mean, I think they always do, but I've never heard that rule.
So let me tell you one step further that you can go on this particular rule, is that you can also put, in which I put in the statement, an alarm buoy in the pool. And an alarm buoy is $150. You put it in the pool, somebody jumps into your pool, it goes off, and you know that, so it's an easy way to fix that problem.
Not familiar with those.
Yeah.
But I would say that they probably, any outside entrance to a pool would have a lock on it anyway, so I don't think it's gonna be a big problem,
Right.
but I just don't like the words sometimes if they don't apply.
Right.
I've never heard what you're saying about the distance from the floor, so on and so forth, the lock has got to be, I've never heard that.
Yeah, so if you go to most standard pools, not necessarily a home pool, but if you go to most public pools, if you walk up to the gate, you'll notice they got a 4-foot gate, and then they have a stick that kind of comes up, and you press that button to open it. That's at 54 inches. That's why that's there. So it's kind of crazy. You can have a 4-foot fence all the way around that pool, and you can climb over the fence, but the lock has got to be at 54 inches, and that's why that is.
Do pool installers know that? Cause you're.
Well, I sure hope so.
You're talking about, here's, I don't want to dwell on this because it's a little thing, but could be a big thing. Most, not all, but most pools maybe will not be installed until 10 years later after they buy the house, if it's a new house and so
Right.
forth.
Right.
So I know of no pool installer that goes through the house and with a tape measure to measure how high the lock is on the exterior door. I know of none. Maybe there is.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't answer that question,
Yeah.
sir. All I can do is tell you the way the rule is written. I mean, it's a simple rule, but it makes sense if you got grandkids, or you got kids, or you got
I mean,
neighbors, or anything
I
else.
think it's good, I don't think it's bad, but I just think, I'm learning. I guess
Sure,
is what I'm saying.
sure.
Most important thing, most homes are gonna have an alarm and most windows are gonna have locks on it,
That's correct.
unless it's an old house.
That's 100% correct. That's exactly correct.
Or they're gonna be at the right height, I guess. is
But
what I'm trying to
it
say.
wouldn't matter if, let's say for instance, you had some of the new wireless home security systems. Those are gonna go off as soon as that window opens, no matter where it's located on that window. They're gonna go
I
off.
think you should talk to Mr. Sloan about this after the meeting.
Thank you so very much, Cindy. And with that comment, are there any other questions for Pillar to Post? Would you please introduce your
Yeah, absolutely.
your cohorts that are here
So
with you today?
Alan Reynolds is our marketing director. Does a great job. He's the one that's filming everything, gonna put it on. Bobby is one of our lead inspectors. Bobby probably does more in Mobile than anyone over here. I don't know how many times I get people call and say, "Oh, I only want Bobby, I only want Bobby." I don't know if it's because of this brown and beautiful beard or what. They don't want an old man like you.
I want Bobby.
You want Bobby? All right. And Bobby's single. Let me just let you know, Bobby's single. And then, Matt is another one of our inspectors. He lives over in Baldwin County, does a lot here, but he comes here too. So he does a lot over in this area too. So, we're gonna play this quick little video. It's a minute and a half long, and then we'll do our drawing.
And while that's playing, if anyone came in after they collected the business cards, let me know, and I'll make sure that we get your cards put in the drawing.
As a busy professional realtor, your time is important. Getting a deal done takes a lot of work. You can't afford to revisit a property multiple times to show or reshow a home to clients, friends, family, and contractors. We get it. That's why we now include PTP 360 with all our home inspection packages. In just 15 minutes, PTP 360 creates an interactive, navigable, 360-degree virtual tour of a home. Outside, inside, every room, floor to ceiling. It is just like being there. Now your clients can revisit the home anytime from a desktop, tablet, or smartphone. They can also share the tour with friends and family. Key findings and pictures from our home inspection report are highlighted and can be easily shared with contractors to secure an accurate quote. If your client chooses our premium or prestige home inspection packages, they will also receive PTP floor plan, which produces a measured floor plan of the entire house. PTP floor plan helps your clients determine furniture fit and provides measurements that can be used to get accurate quotes for painting, flooring, and construction. PTP 360 and PTP floor plan, saving you time, getting you to closings faster, and helping your clients make a confident home ownership decision. Discover the pillar to post difference today.
So the drawing is gonna be for, is we're gonna draw two different names, and it will be for your own personal VOH and visual open house. If you wanna put it on the listing that you have going on now, we'd be glad to come there and do the listing. You'll get an email from us the next day, which will show the floor plan and the total tour that you can put on the MLS, you can put it on Facebook, you can do anything you want to it. I will tell you too that you wanna put it on Facebook, we also share that and we send it to hundreds of agents too. So you're not only the people who's following you, that are following us also, we share it 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and that's something that Alan does very, very well. So we're very big in marketing and on the internet, and unfortunately that's where our world is and where it's going to continue to go. So we're trying to be that leading edge in that market also. So the first card, if I can read this, I've got to put my old man glasses on. Ted Musial.
Ted Musial, he just
Oh.
left.
Gotta be present to win.
Okay, that's your rule. That's your rule, it's okay.
Oh, God, don't tell Ted.
Alma Gardner.
Elma, yeah.
Alvin Gardner.
So what I'll do is I'll send you an email tomorrow, give you all my contact information, so we'll be set up. Have you got a listing now? Yeah. Michelle Talbert? And any other questions before we get out of your hair? I'm sure you said, oh gosh, I don't want to hear these guys.
No, I think you got a great program, I really do. I think the
Thank you.
pricing is excellent too.
Yeah, thank you very much, I appreciate it. I think, we do a lot of inspections over here. Unfortunately, we haven't done a whole lot with Berkshire Hathaway. That's why we are here and what we would love to do. We do a whole lot for LLB&B, Keller Williams, a lot of the different people over here, and we'd love to be part of your team also. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much.